Hello, everybody. It's Jacob from Wager Me This here. As you can see, I'm in truck. I just wanted to come out today. This is a Saturday, playoff Saturday for the NFL, wild card weekend as they call it. Today we have the Chargers versus Houston in Houston, and we have Baltimore and Pittsburgh in Baltimore. So let's start with the Chargers game. It's the 3:30 game. I like the Chargers -3 here. I think Houston is reeling a little bit, and the Chargers are somewhat hot. The Chargers are somewhat up and coming, and I just think Houston has way too many injuries. The Chargers are just playing really well. Ladd McConkey's really coming on. He's a weapon. Justin Herbert is really throwing the ball well. Just the Chargers are playing well overall. The Chargers are really tough team in the playoffs. They're going to be a real tough out for everyone that faces them. Especially with Herbert and Ladd McConkey kind of getting it together, being able to throw the football. Houston, in my opinion, they just don't have a lot of options now. I know they have Nico Collins, and he's a big play threat, and they have Mixon, who's still a good football player, but the rest of their receiving core just got demolished. And believe it or not, they don't actually protect C.J. Stroud all that well. I think -3 is a short line here, even for a road favorite in the playoffs, which I know this can be a thing, but I think this is a mismatch here. And again, the Chargers were the better team in the season. Houston just happens to be in an easier division, is why it's a home game for them. I also like the Chargers -0.5 in the first half. I think if you're betting the game, you're betting the first half as well. It's a way to get minus a little better odds, and you're only laying a half a point. So as long as they don't tie, you're probably going to get that one. The Chargers are ahead. So that's what I like in that one. I'm not going to mess with the player props in that one. I just don't feel like either team. The player props are either handicapped really well, like Joe Mixon's props, or, I just don't feel like that there's enough guarantee there to have a player maybe get 5 catches, 8 catches. Like Ladd McConkey is 6.5 receptions. I'm not going for that. It's plus money, but to get over that, if you're going under, you're getting like -150. It's not worth it because he could see a ton of targets. But so in that game, I like the Chargers -3, and then I like the Chargers -0.5 in the first half. In the next game, Baltimore is laying 9.5 points. In the playoffs, Harbaugh versus Tomlin. Even though I know Baltimore's offense is this high-flying machine, and they kind of lit Pittsburgh up a couple weeks ago. Pittsburgh wasn't healthy then. I think they play a different game this week. And I also think that the Ravens and Pittsburgh's, their DNA is to be more conservative. And I actually think that happens in this one. And plus it's not going to be warm. It's going to be at night. It's going to be cold. They're in Charm City. So in Baltimore, I think that 9.5 is too many. I'm taking Pittsburgh plus that 9.5. I think that's way too many points. George Pickens is going to be back for this one, which we'll see how much that really matters. He's kind of on and off. When he's big, he's huge, but then he kind of disappears in games as well. So, but I do think that matters. At least Baltimore will have to worry about him. And I just think the weather, the idea, the two teams, the two coaching staffs, I think Harbaugh and Tomlin really get real conservative in this one. I think 9.5. I don't know that the game spreads out much more than that at any time. I think that's just too many points. 9.5. So that's where I'm at on that one. I do think Baltimore will win the game. I think Baltimore's the better football team, but I just think 9.5 is you're getting out there. You're getting it stretched out a little bit. I think 6.5 is where they should be. So I'm buying the 9.5 there. And I want to say that I like Lamar Jackson to have over 51.5 rushing yards. In these games, in these playoff games, Lamar Jackson tends to run early a lot. So I'm going Lamar Jackson over 51.5 rushing yards. I think he's going to be running away a little bit from the pass rush as well. So in the 51.5, Lamar can get that one run, right? He's that kind of player. He can break out and one run could get that. So just to recap where I'm at today is I'm taking the Chargers -3. I'm taking the Chargers -0.5 for the first half. I'm taking Pittsburgh plus 9.5, and I'm taking Lamar Jackson over 51.5 rushing yards. Those are my 4 plays for today. That's all I have bet. I think they're pretty good plays. Again, it's playoff football. I tend to like the home teams, but in this case, I'm taking both road teams. But one reason is one's getting 9.5 points. And I just think the Chargers are pretty significantly better than Houston. So anyways, guys, thank you for your time. This is Jacob from Wager Me This.